The beginning of a book blog should be a quiet affair with no flashy backgrounds, no obvious kind of touristy stuff. It should be very simple, stark, minimal. That's what I'm going to go for today with this week-long blog. It's just a very stark, simple, run-of-the-mill week of reading. Oh, I have to go home and get my books.
And now home to the books. But first, let me give you an intro to what this is. This is a reading vlog. This is a reading vlog tag, which has been created by Doris at Aldi Books, and she tagged me because I was foolish enough to comment in her comment field when she actually announced the tag about this. So yes, I'm tagged, and to be honest, it already sounded like a good idea, and I was already getting little videos. Getting little video clips together, because this is basically a scavenger hunt of 17, what you might call the cliches, the standbys in all the reading vlogs. I don't watch a lot of reading vlogs. There will be a shout out later to the reading vlog I do actually watch. But yes, so that's what this is. 17 prompts. First prompt is Scenic intro. I'll put a number 1. Scenic thing, there'll be the number of come up. And now number 2 is currently reading. I am at the moment, because it's a reading vlog, it's all about the reading, right? Well, maybe not so much so, but yes, it's the reading vlog. So I am currently reading The Duke's Children by Anthony Trollope, in 1879, 1880, depends on if you do it the magazine or when it was actually published, novel. I'm doing this kind of following along Steve Donahue, making very long videos, 20 chapters by 20 chapters. I've got a physical copy. Don't tell Steve, but I actually I listened to the Gutenberg people, lovely Gutenberg volunteers reading this. Usually I listen to that, and then I'll make little audio notes about it, and then I listen back to all those audio notes and compile them. And indeed, I'm up to chapter 60, and I need to probably, after I do this video, I should actually tape myself of those chapters, and then I can get on to the final 20 chapters. It's not my favorite Trollope novel. I'm finding it kind of a shame that I'm ending this way, but who knows? We still have those 20 last chapters to turn me around, to make me realize exactly how great Trollope is. Always. I mean, he's been very, very great throughout this series. Just this seems like the whimper at the end. Steve disagrees, and you should definitely check out his words of wisdom on that. So yes, I'm reading The Duke's Children. I am actually reading this, The Sweetest Dream by Doris Lessing in the hard copy. I'm about halfway through. One of my favorite books by Doris Lessing is The Golden Notebook, which was published in the 1960s. And this is a book that was actually published in 2002, but actually starts in the 1960s and kind of continues along, and has a lot of the themes, a lot of the idea, Doris Lessing is somebody who's kind of grew up in very ideological times. I mean, I guess what times aren't ideological, but they really kind of, I mean, maybe it's looking at it from the past. It's it's almost like this mass hysteria where people get really fixed and narrow ideas and can only see things a certain way. Oh God. Just like today. However you want to say it, this may be looking back at the 60s, but it's obviously, very, very good at commenting on today. And the good thing about this book is, at least from my perspective as someone who's probably on the left side of the spectrum, is it's highly critical of the left, because, well, I already, I'm highly critical of the right, and that's easy. That would be like shooting fish in a barrel. This is a book that is, hopefully is going to make you, if you're slightly a, socialistic, liberalist, and small L liberal, especially if you're Canadian, person, to kind of go, the habits of thought that we get into, you're either with us or you're against us, kind of that thing. Hopefully the kind of habit of thought that we really try and fight against on a place like when we're discussing books on BookTube. In the most ideal way. On the least ideal way, it's you hate my book, therefore I hate you kind of thing. Hopefully you can find a community that you can disagree about books and you can kind of really dig into that and kind of examine that. So yes, The Sweetest Dream by Doris Lessing. Really, really enjoying that. And then I am reading the graphic novel, The Case of the Missing Men. This is Hobtown Mystery Stories #1, 2017 graphic novel written by Chris Burton and art and comic by Alexander Forbes. So it's described as a combination of Nancy Drew meets David Lynch in this mystery thriller set in a remote and eerie East Coast village of Hobtown, Nova Scotia. So Canadian content here, eh? At the moment, it seems more Nancy Drewish to me than David Lynch. It's very hard to do David Lynch. And I don't know if this book is actually even trying for that. I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it so far. That's not where the bookmark should be. Well, now I've completely lost the bookmark. But yeah, so I'm about halfway through. I'm enjoying it. I'll give you an update on this mystery. Basically, it's bad dealings going on in small town and young kids kind of digging in to find the ugly underbelly. I mean, there is that opening scene of Blue Velvet and David Lynch where you have the idyllic, beautiful kind of 50s town, and it goes down into the grass, and there's a rotting, I think it's a rotting finger or a thumb or something in the grass, and there's bugs eating it, and it's kind of like, that's the metaphor. I don't know. This is very much feels like a small town Canada, so it's not as idyllic as all that. Maybe that's coming from the interior of BC. I can see some fellow feelings there. So yeah, I'm enjoying that at the moment. It does have very much kind of a it's interesting. Like, there's a lot of the pictures here. There's obviously specificity where these are actual pictures of Nova Scotia, I would imagine. But the kids and all that, they've got those faces that are kind of fairly kind of iconic blank faces, which I actually kind of enjoy because it makes you kind of project stuff into it in a way that you don't when it's super photorealistic, or if this was something that was just turned into a movie or something like that. I'm enjoying it. I'll give you heads up. And the last thing that I am reading at the moment is a collection of essays. Let's see if I can get it without too much glare. This is Equipment for Living on Poetry and Pop Music by Michael Robbins. I almost had it there for a second. I'll probably put up a picture right here and you'll get to see it better. Yeah, so this is like a collection of essays on poetry and pop music. It's very much a book on a couple of key quotes that I've gotten just from the introductory chapter of him quoting Harold Bloom, who proposes that we ask of a text, what is it good for? What can I do with it? What can it do for me? And what can I make it mean? And I love that, what can I make it mean? Because that, to me, kind of sums up why I read, why I'm on BookTube. It's what can I make this stuff mean? Is something there. And another one more quote, Kenneth Burke, poetry is designed for living. Poetry is produced as a part of the Consuelo Philosophia. It is undertaken as equipment for living, as a ritualistic way of arming ourselves to confront perplexities and risks. It would protect us. So there's that, what is poetry good for? What is art good for? What is reading? Why are we wasting all our time reading these books? It's there's definitely this idea of people talk about, it's a comfort. It's something that's going to make us feel good. But I think what they seem to be, Robin seems to be getting into this chapter is this thing of of poetry isn't there to, it's a sad and angry consolation, is another quote that comes up. Sad and angry consolation. This is something to say, this isn't going to make everything better. This isn't going to make, this is something to say, it's a sad and angry consolation. You're not alone. People are living and dying and suffering, and that is the way of life, and you need to kind of accept the way of life. So a sad and angry consolation, which to me is more of an exhilarating, it's not like, I'm not reading. It's like, I don't know if I'm reading to improve myself as much as I'm reading to arm myself with that kind of a knowledge and put myself into that kind of the human community where I know that all my brothers and sisters are also suffering, that we are all we're all trapped in these meat bodies that are going to die one day, and that will be it. Well, that might be my own thing. So on that happy note, that is what I'm currently reading. And now cut to Gratuitous Pet Clip.
Hey, there we go. Go get it! Oh, wrong way!
Is it a hobby? Is it an interest? Is it just a way of life? But it's definitely walking the dogs is a large part of every single day. Every single day is walking the dogs in the park, and definitely along this field here. So what a nice interlude. Boy, it sure is windy and sunny, which I guess ticks off the whole, ticks off that box in the whole reading tag vlog. These things are hard work. I don't know how Dane does them every week. But yes, so walking the dogs, and indeed more gratuitous pet shots. See, that's always a good weather thing. Very dependable here on the West Coast. And bookish people should always know how to change the tires on their car when it gets a flat. Ooh, a spare. Let's see if I can make it to Cal Tire. What an adventure this reading vlog has become. And I'll probably get to read at Cal Tire. Woohoo! Hooray! I made it to Cal Tire. Well, it's going to be a couple hours, so I'm just going to walk home because I'm close enough here. So, joy of audiobooks. I guess the Duke's children will get a listen at this point. So, the listening life of a busy booktuber. Actually a pretty short walk, a pretty nice one. So, home again, ooh. Hello, it's lunchtime. I'm having my butter chicken with sriracha. I've got my big screen TV here with Dane of DaneReads on, and Dane is probably the one guy whose reading vlog I actually do watch. Yeah, Dane, you know, he's always out and about doing stuff, or he's cooking, which, you know, maybe I slightly parodied in my people who read cook, but you know, he actually is like, you know, he makes some what looks like some very delicious looking stuff. He's on, I believe, the vegan side of things. There's my big platter of veggies with garden grown zucchini. That's me being my one garden fresh thing for all my other canned stuff. But yeah, so there I am. This is my usual lunchtime with my big screen TV. Oh, I've got my library of currently reading, trying to desperately figure out, you know, what to read in what order next and stuff like that. Still haven't filmed that Duke's Children video, which I need to do. And yeah, that's about it. Oh, and I've got my still another gratuitous pet shot there of Shira. Hey, Shira. Shira's tired because she just came home from a walk. Oh, stylish socks with the slippers. And oh, Airedale having a nice rest. Alright, so yeah. I'm really more in charge of actually I got a nice big zucchini there. Here. Actually, I think I'm gonna yank that one off. Some of these. Okay, there. Zucchini for some lunch and some my midnight snack. Yum. Welcome to the second week of my 1 week reading vlog tag video. I figured this is as good as time as any to do the BookTube talk portion of our tag, and actually it's not a bad one to do because so I've been thinking about my BookTube experience lately. There was Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading is taking a step back from her BookTube channel, which to kind of like, you know, be kind to herself and to those around her, you know, just like it's a hobby, and you know, it can be a very time-consuming hobby. I know that myself, and it got me thinking about just like how I'm feeling about BookTube at the moment. You know, I have my ups and downs. I have my super enthusiasm sort of watching everything, and then I have other times where I'm just like, it feels like a bit of a grind, which is not what we're going for in BookTube, and I feel like sometimes it's a bit of a thing that takes away from my reading, which I don't like. There's other times where, you know, it's a good thing. It helps me focus my reading because I'm definitely somebody who likes to kind of really sink into books and really think about them after I've read them. Like, let them sit with me for a good while, and I find making videos on that is a really good process of me trying to get my thoughts semi-clear, semi-distilled, something like that. But I think about like why I started a BookTube channel, and a part of that was I'm a passive viewer. You know, I for the most part, I've you know I take in movies, I take in podcasts, I read books. You know, I've done some writing, which has helped me appreciate exactly how difficult and long and work intensive of a process that is, getting words on the page that actually can capture something and can capture a reader's imagination. And I've been finding that with BookTube is you think it's like, oh, it's just sort of someone sitting in front of a camera and chatting, like I guess I'm doing at the moment. But there's emotional work, there's emotional intellectual work that really goes into this process. And there's sometimes that I you know, with my job, with just, you know, just general life in general, I don't have as much of that energy, and you start feeling the grind, and you go, okay, you know, I need to make sure you keep your priorities where they need to be. And you know, I was trying to edit this together and failing. It's like, okay, I'll give myself maybe another week or whatever, because I basically, you know, I can film stuff during the week, but I can only really get to editing on the weekend. That, you know, it's trying to find that balance, but also just to recognize, with all my all the booktubers out there, is like, from doing this and doing a kind of a half-assed job. I really hats off to all you booktubers out there who produce videos that I do enjoy, and that Airedale walk by, that I really do enjoy, and just like to acknowledge the wonderful work that you guys put into making videos that the rest of us can enjoy, and yeah, I really appreciate that. And I also, hats off to Kelly. I won't pick up my hat again. Hats off to Kelly for going with, understand, that realizing that it is a lot of work, and that you need to make sure you keep your priorities straight, and that this is a hobby. This isn't a profession. There are professional booktubers out there, and wow, amazing to you. But for the majority of us, we're doing this as a hobby, as a way to kind of interact with people, and yeah, keep your priorities straight. I'm talking to myself now. This isn't me preaching to anybody other than myself. Keep my priorities straight, find the balance, take steps back when you need to, and come back to us full of energy and all that. I will try and do that myself. All right, BookTube talk over. It's the running errand section of the thing. I got the wheels torqued. I took Jaja to her chiropractor thing, and I got an avocado. There. Errands run. Wasn't that easy? Here's my bonus video of, do you ever wonder how I get such awesome looking videos? Well, this is it. This is my, I can't even back up. This is my standing desk, which is actually just a desk with a bunch of boxes, with a bunch of books, with a little, I think it's an old TV stand, with a cell phone stand, with my cell phone in it, plugged in there. I've got lights, and more lights, and other lights, and that light, and then I've got this light right here, which just, lights things up all really delightfully that way. And there, that's how I look so awesome on camera. That is a painting, original painting by my lovely partner, Jaja, the Austrian princess, who also goes by Janine sometimes. I guess I should actually give her name if I'm going to show off her art. She knows I love dogs, so she very nicely made that for me, so I get to look at that when I'm making videos, which is really awesome. Holy crap, it is 2:10. I should have started getting ready about 10 minutes ago, so I'm going to go. Bye for now. Oh. Hey, hello, it's time for car talk, because this is the car talk section of this vlog. Yes, I'm sitting in the car waiting for Jaja to finish her chiropractor's appointment. I guess a little errand as well, and of course I've got my books along with me. Still working on Equipment for Living on Poetry and Pop Music by Michael Robbins. Yeah, still going along with that. It's going well. Each essay I think I'm rereading a couple of times, and he's if anything else, he's really good at harvesting amazing quotes from people. I think there is one from he quotes from Emerson of, like, after a man reaches 30, he never wakes up in the morning happy. Something about, like, you can never experience anything so gloriously intensely after the age of 30, which, as a 50-year-old, I think I quibble about. I quibble about that statement, but it's a good challenging statement, and I like that. I like challenging statements in my thing, and I harbor the illusion that there is plenty of pleasures. Hey, Trollop I never really got into well after my 30s, so you suck it, Emerson. You suck it, yeah. I'm also, speaking of youthful pleasures, I picked up, because Annie DeFranco has her thing out, her autobiography out, is coming out, and I happened to notice that they had a collection of what they call her verses in the library, and I thought it was going to be like sort of maybe original poetry by her, but actually it seems to be, at least so far, it's the song lyrics from a lot of the songs. Ani DiFranco is a singer-songwriter of the very singer-songwriter coming up the 80s, 90s, and beyond, and that was when I was seriously an Ani DiFranco head. You know, I got to see her live a couple of times and at folk festivals, because you know that's where those singer-songwriters live and die, and breathe and all that. So yeah, I'm going through that. It's always hard. It's always interesting reading song lyrics on the page, because you can't help but get, especially with the ones that I guess you've really enjoyed, you can't help but be singing along as you're reading along. But it's not dreck. It's not dreck. It's actually it's still, it seems like pretty good stuff to me. Though this might be my Ani DiFranco nostalgia. So I'm reading that, and there's a interview at the back, which hopefully isn't too worshipful. Ani DiFranco did have sort of the cult of Annie around her, and I semi wonder. It'll be interesting to see how somebody like that has coped from a very young age, of having a lot of people who like really kind of hero worshipped her. I probably was guilty of a bit of that myself, of hero worshipping her, of putting her up on a bit of a pedestal, and how she's, I guess, to see, you know, how that can have kind of take their toll on somebody's ego, inflate it. So it'll be interesting to see that. So yes, that's my as I wait for Jaja to come out of her appointment. This has been Car Talk. Now back to the rest of the video.
What are you doing?
This is all for the super silly. See, now I can't even get it. All right, the wrap-up part of our video. Admit, my first instinct was to just do this inside in my office, where I've been filming a whole bunch of videos today, because in my usual kind of cyclical thing, I think, you know, when I did my last little BookTube, when I did the BookTube talk, I was kind of on my low ebb, like energy-wise, and then I go up again, and then I go down again, and then I go up again, and then I go really, really down again. So yes, I have my little burst of energy, which luckily coincides with the weekend when I actually have time to actually kind of get stuff in. So if this t-shirt looks really familiar and horribly inappropriate, I'm sure that's why. So yes, this is the wrap-up part of the thing, where I guess I can talk about well, I finished, because this is a 2-week, 1-week BookTube vlog tag thing. Thank you, Doris. Challenging. We'll see how many weeks it takes me to actually edit it. I finished The Duke's Children, because I was semi-detached from it, so I motored through it, but then I got more into it, and you can watch my videos where I natter on about it, and Team Lady Mabel. So yes, I finished that. In my reading rush, my only reading rush is, oh crap, the library wants their damn book back. I finished The Sweetest Dream by Doris Lessing, which I also reviewed in this t-shirt. Yeah, it's one of those books where, wow, I thought it was maybe going completely off the rails until finally at the end. I think it doesn't. I'll have to think about that some more, and I still haven't watched like other more wiser readers' viewpoints in this, but I think she actually pulls it off in the end, in that good, uncomfortable, I'm going to talk about whatever I goddamn feel like talking about Doris Lessing sort of way, and I'm going to say whatever I goddamn feel about it, however wrong I am, but I'm not going to be constrained by whatever ideology, whatever pattern of thought, whatever niceties, whatever everything, you know, and you know, that might make for stuff that's like really, really wrong, but it also might make for stuff that's like it's independently thought out. So yeah, I mean, within her own stuff. So yeah, I really enjoyed that, and yes, that was my reading rush. Get this done before the library wants it back. And then finally, I also finished up The Case of the Missing Men, which, yeah, it was fine. was fine. So yeah, and I've just filmed all that stuff because I suddenly had this burst of energy because I'd been feeling really not so energetic. And I have to admit, like at the end of the last weekend, I tried to do a whole foodie thing and I tried to edit that together. And well, we now have a quick montage of the butter chicken, don't we? So that was good. You know, hats off to people who do vlogging all the time. It's definitely something I'm sure maybe you would get better at it as you went along. I don't think I will be getting better at it as I go along. I doubt if I've got the energy or in a lot of ways the inclination. I think the parts of this vlog that I've really nattered on apart are the book part, and that to me is the big part. I do enjoy maybe every once in a while kind of sitting down here in the thing and chatting about stuff, but recording my life seems extraneous. However much I actually enjoy other people's vlogs, which I actually do, but I just don't have the inclination or the energy there to do this myself. But it has made me appreciate it. So thank you, Doris. Thank you for that. And you know, in that vein, let's shout out some people. First, shout out some people who are really good at vlogs. Dane DaneReads, who, if the editing goes right, is somebody who I do talk about as somebody who is able to quite effortlessly kind of include you in his life or give you a glimpse into his life. I'm not included in his life. Sorry, Dane. Let's not overstep myself, but you get included in his life, and I really appreciate that. I really appreciate his kind of calm vibe there. Someone like Sean the Book Maniac and his travels, or you know, his meanderings around in Japan, and watching him try and film and the wind coming up. I totally understand that, but just you know, getting a glimpse into his life, and he's somebody who he films inside on times, but he's also out and about, and that you do see that does bring a little fresh air into a video, and something I can definitely I you know, there's sometimes it's like, okay, I can't film another second in my office, okay, so I'll film out here and stuff like that. Mel's Bookland Adventures of it. She's actually doing a trip to Canada, of course the wrong side of Canada. She's in Ottawa. Why anyone would want to go to Ottawa or that region, I have no idea, but you know, to each their own. Yeah, I've been enjoying her ones. Now to tag some people, I looked at people that I really enjoy their videos, but they're sort of like me in that I rarely see them outside of their kind of little controlled spaces doing amazing videos. But I would be curious to see they're just a little bit more around them, a little widening of the scope. So with that, I'll tag Lindsay Reads, Britta Bowler, because she loves tags apparently, and Rishmika likes books, and they may have been all tagged before, but yeah, that's the people I've tagged, and I guess that's my closing. That's the people I tagged. That was my closing remarks, and all we need is some awkward outtakes. But of course, I'm such a pro at all this that there couldn't be any awkward outtakes. So yes, more videos later.
It's like a little treasure hunt. Treasure hunt? Damn it, that's not the word. What do you call those things? Treasure hunt. Not treasure hunt. A scavenger hunt! It's... Alright, let's start over again. God damn it. I can see the top of my head there. Well, now I'm just like this giant white float floating in the thing. Well, lots of outtake gold here. And you know, Doris from Aldi Books, whose original tag this is, I feel a lot of accomplishment for having actually edited all this together.